People are making 100K plus a year by basically just pushing a button and taking pictures of a room. In this video, I'm going to do a complete walkthrough of how you can start your own 3D virtual tour business that makes anywhere between a couple grand a month to over $100,000 a year. Let's get it. With the assumption that most of you probably stayed up to date with the recent real estate market, you probably know that real estate prices are near all-time highs right now. In fact, prices have just increased over 14% from last year in 2020. With the increase in home prices, there is a lot more money to be made in the real estate sector. Real estate agents, real estate photographers, and basically anybody in an industry that works closely with real estate is making more money now. With this especially, we're seeing an increase for real estate marketing, and there's a demand for things like better quality photos, better quality aerial video from drones, etc. More importantly, for us, creating a 3D virtual tour for homes and other real estate construction is becoming more important. Since people are wanting to stay at home more in this time, virtual tours are becoming more prominent for house listings, so this is also another reason for the demand increasing. You can see here it says 74% of realtors win more listings when they use virtual tours through Matterport. So it's a very real benefit and need. So to start your virtual tour business, you're just gonna need 3 things, and it's pretty straightforward, honestly. You could do this whole thing without too much of an upfront cost. First, you're gonna need a camera, or you could use your phone if it has a good camera. You can buy a 360-degree camera for pretty cheap, which will be better quality. I'll link below a cheap 360-degree camera, which will probably be the best bang for your buck in terms of quality and price. You could also buy a Matterport Pro camera, which will be the best quality, but I wouldn't recommend it because the Matterport Pro camera is over $2,000 and it's just not worth it to start out, in my opinion. The second thing you're gonna need is a Matterport account, which I'll show you how to set up in this video. The third thing you'll need is a client or a realtor who will pay you for your 3D virtual tour, and this is probably the hardest part to find, but I have some tricks I'll show you later in this video that'll help you speed up and ease the process of finding your first paying client, because finding the first client is the hardest. So how the business model works is you will be working with realtors that are trying to sell homes. Essentially, what you'll do is create a 3D virtual tour of the home they're trying to sell, and they'll pay you a certain amount for it. They could either pay you a fixed amount like $200 per virtual tour, or they could pay you a percentage of the commission they receive on the home. Realtors make 3% in commission on a home. So say for example, you negotiate that you will receive 1% of their commission for making the virtual tour. If the realtor sells a house for $500,000, they will make a commission on that house of about $15,000. So if you get 1% of that, you'll get about $150 for the 3D virtual tour. So you could structure the payment either way and negotiate the price or commission percentages, but realtors will tend to prefer paying you a flat rate for the virtual tour regardless of the sale price of the house. But essentially, after you make the virtual tour, you would either send it directly to the realtor, which is probably what most realtors want you to do, or you could upload it directly to websites like Zillow, Realtor.com, or other listing websites. So the first thing you're going to want to do is create a Matterport account by going to Matterport.com and signing up for free. They'll ask you for some simple information. For the company name, you should make a professional name that you want to stick with and put it down. Then you'll sign up for the free plan. The free plan is pretty limiting and it doesn't have much features, but you can use it to test your business model out and see if there's actually demand for the service. With the free plan, you have what's called in the startup world your MVP. The MVP is the minimum viable product, and you can use it to test if there's actually a market or if there's real demand for the service that you have. Once you've validated your demand, you can upgrade plans and start paying for it to get the extra features. So once you've signed up for free, and if you decide you're going to use your phone camera to start, you'll need to download the Matterport Capture app on your phone. Then you want to do a virtual tour walkthrough of your own house just to get experience with it. So once you're done with a walkthrough, you can upload it to the servers and just get familiar with the whole process. That's basically the bare bones of this business, and that's really what you need to know. Hey, sorry for interrupting the video. I just wanted to remind you guys to subscribe if you like what you see, because only 97.3% of you are subscribed right now. So one thing I did notice with the phones is sometimes they don't give the best quality, and there will be some fuzzy spots in the rendering, but there isn't really anything you can do about that other than to get a better 360-degree camera. If you're looking for a good value 360-degree camera, I linked a good one in the description from Rico 360. Also, if you're looking to make your virtual tour stand out and be unique, there's a course called the Virtual Tour Edge HQ. I'll link it below, and I recommend you check it out if you want to take your virtual tour business to the next level. So once you're comfortable with all that, the next thing to do is find a client. This is the hard part and the fun part because this is where you actually make the money. So to get your first client, you'll need to leverage the fact that realtors don't have time and they just don't want to face the trouble of making an entire virtual tour. If they can outsource that to someone like you, it'll help them create listings faster and their listings will be higher quality. So the first thing you're going to need to do is get a track record or a portfolio. You will need some previous experience to show realtors that they can trust your quality of work. Obviously, it's going to be tough to get a portfolio of several 3D virtual tours when you don't even have one client, but your first piece of work can be your house. You can then ask a couple of your friends to see if you can make a virtual tour of their house on Matterport. Once you've done a couple of these, you will have a portfolio you can show to realtors to try to convert them to paying clients. If you don't have friends,
I don't need friends.
You can ask a realtor to do one of their listings for free just so you can prove your quality of work. Doing a virtual tour for free comes at no cost to the realtor, and it can build your connection with the realtor, and it can be an easy way for you to build your portfolio. Also, if that realtor is happy with your free virtual tour, they will then ask you to come back and pay you for the next virtual tour. And they can also probably tell other realtors, which basically serves as free marketing for you. One of the ways you can find agents to contact is to go on Zillow or other listing websites and look for properties that don't have virtual tours attached to them, especially luxury houses. Agents selling luxury houses will have more money to spend on things like virtual tours, and the people that are going to buy luxury houses will want virtual tours and better quality content. So if you find a good luxury house without a virtual tour, you can click on Contact Agent and let them know that you're looking to do virtual tours for them. If you want an exact script of what to say, just follow and DM me at Krishna Thiru Show on Instagram. It's a pretty new account, but I'll be posting daily on it. So once you start getting in conversation with these realtors, the next step is to agree upon a price that you will do it for and agree on a timeline that you'll have it done by. It's okay to go for a cheaper price when you're starting out. I'd say a pretty good starting number would be between $50 and $100, and as you gain experience, you can build your credibility and you can bring up the price to $200, $300, or even more. You can get paid from realtors through cash, or you can send them PayPal invoices, and there are many other methods like Stripe as well. If you get to the point where you can do one virtual tour a day for $300, which is very possible, and you can do that 7 times a week, you can make $109,000 a year from this. This is definitely doable if you build up the connections with some successful realtors in your local area and you build your clientele. Also, once you and the realtor have agreed upon a time frame and a deadline that you will have your tour done by, make sure you stick to the timeline and try to even get it done early if you can. It's always good to underpromise and overdeliver. If a realtor wants you to get the virtual tour done in an unreasonable time frame, don't just blindly agree and try to figure it out in the fear that you'll upset them if you ask for an extension. Instead, just tell them upfront how long you think it'll take, and most of the time they'll be understanding if you're upfront and honest about it. A lot of people ask if you have to actually be at the property to make these virtual tours, and the answer is yes. You have to be physically present at every property to make the virtual tour, unless you build your business to the point where you can hire someone to do the virtual tour for you. You cannot just make the virtual tours from pictures online. You can take the information you learn in this video and make a 6-figure side hustle, or you can just do this a little bit in your free time to make an extra $1,000 to $2,000 a month on the side. Give me a follow on Instagram and TikTok at Krishna Thiru Show, and subscribe to this video, or don't, I don't know. Peace.